got some emails from some folks. I know that we do have some Aloha users out there. That maybe they have some questions that they would like to ask. We already have some showing up. Jeff, one of the questions here is, what's been your experience with support?
I've had great experience with support. Anytime that I've had a question or a concern, I've always had a contact who was very knowledgeable that could work through it with me. Just even a go-to meeting that I could sponsor and show them what I was having a problem with and quickly resolve any of the problems that we've encountered.
Excellent. What kinds of issues have you had to contact support for?
Maybe a couple of forms that we just didn't get quite right. As I was adding new forms, sometimes there would be a field that maybe needed to be configured a little bit differently. When I did the upgrade, setting up the new database, and just some guidance in how to manage the disparity of the data.
So let me clarify something real quick. You said when you were creating the forms, are you actually able to create your own forms in EDM?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They aren't as pretty as the ones that they can create, but I can make it happen.
Any other issues that you had besides the forms?
No, I've had very positive results throughout the whole process.
How easy is it to make changes at only some stores and to keep those changes from being overridden?
That's the beauty of the product, really, is because I have all my stores in a list, and I only select the stores that I want to implement the changes at. So if I am changing a routing level or a price at a group of stores, if I select just those stores, the only thing that gets updated at those stores is that price or that routing level. And I have no concerns of any other store being affected.
And you mentioned to me that, or earlier in the webinar, that when you're making changes inside the forms, you can see which stores have which value, so you know which ones you're actually going to be changing from and to.
Yep, precisely. If I was to select 6 stores and one of those had a different price, I might not have realized it at the time, but when I go to change that price, it will display that there's 2 different prices associated with the stores I've selected, and I can actually drill it down to see which store it is that has a different price. Good checks and balances.
Did you mention when we were talking about making changes that you are able to make changes to the panels?
Yes, absolutely. The panel editor works very, very well. It actually has better functionality than what comes in Aloha for some regards.
And you have a print screen here for us.
Yep. So it allows you any of the functions that are associated with creating panels in Aloha are available through EDM. The bitmaps are all available. Any of the creation of the buttons is capable of doing. Plus, you can copy panels. You can copy items from stores. I mean, that is something for me is huge, is the ability to copy from one to another.
I have a question that I'm going to defer to Chris Neimeister, who is our CTO. He's also on the panel here and has been sitting quietly and listening. Does EDM work with PosiTouch?
Well, we're in the process of integrating EDM with PosiTouch right now. We have a working PosiTouch screen editor. We have some working forms. We are in the process of getting that built. So we will work with PosiTouch. I don't have it ready to ship today, but I soon will.
Does the EDM solution require unified databases, or can you multiple sites under the same umbrella with different menu items? I think that can you group multiple sites under the same umbrella with different menu items?
Sure, it's a good question. When you first load your sites into EDM, each site's data is loaded just for that site. So it's possible that every site can have different values in every record. Now, if you want to create more consistency in your data, then you can choose to share data across multiple sites, which means all those sites are going to get that same set of category records, for example. So actually it works either way. You can have groups of sites that have the same data, or you can have groups of sites like regions that don't have the same data, and the data can be different at each site in the group.
Can I allow store employees to access EDM?
Certainly, the system works both directions. So if there's certain pieces of data that you may want the store manager to edit, you can provide them with access to the EDM form at the store, and when they make a change to the data, it will automatically send their change back up to your central database, and you can pick and choose which pieces of data you manage from central and which pieces can be managed from the store.
So can I ask a clarifying question there, Chris? You're saying that I can choose that for a particular piece of data, I want that always to be managed in the store, and I'm not going to accidentally overwrite that information that the store manager changed?
That's correct. In fact, you can even allow changes to be made at either end, and as long as they don't cross into mail, as it were, that doesn't present any problem at all. So, for example, I could allow price changes to certain items by the manager, and those same prices could be changed by someone at Central, and as long as they don't actually change the same price for the same item on the same day, that works perfectly fine.
In the absence of any additional questions right now, I really want to thank Jeff Peterson from Noodles and Company for taking his time to join us today to answer questions about all he's been doing with the EDM product and to share with us the process that he went through for implementing an enterprise solution. Jeff, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Kerry.
We certainly appreciate it. And I'd like to thank all of you out there for joining us on this webinar today. Hope you have a great rest of the week. And again, please feel free to contact us if you have any questions whatsoever.